After thinking it over for a while, life's not meant to be a straight line or even a smooth ride. I like paintings that are layered, dappled textures and blurred outlines. Sometimes the artist only knows what she's painting through messes and wasted time. And all these years I was worried by the errors I was making. All this time I thought I was missing every turn I should be taking, but maybe it's more like we're canvas on a painter's stand. I watched a potter throwing clay. He said, I know that it looks easy, but it's not. Sometimes it takes a lot of starting over to get the perfect pot. And all these years I was worried by the errors I was making. All this time I thought I was missing every turn I should be taking, but maybe it's more like we're clay in a potter's hands. Maybe it's more like we're clay in a potter's hands. Well, I've been pressed down and painted over. Maybe it's more like we're canvas on a painter's stand. Maybe it's more like we're clay in a potter's hands. Or maybe it's more like we're canvas on a painter's stand. Maybe it's more like we're clay in a potter's hands.
My name's Kim June Johnson, and I am getting ready to release a new record called Canvas and Clay, and it is just a collection of songs that I wrote about 1.5 years ago. I moved to a little island and just really needed to pull away from city life and go somewhere where I could sort of feel my soul again. And so I found this little seaside cottage on an island and moved in, and I brought my guitar and my banjo, and I was just thinking I was going to do some writing and play some music. But I started to really miss my piano because I wasn't able to bring it with me. And there was this lovely man who I happened to meet, and he said he needed someone to take care of his piano for him for a while because he was moving and he didn't have room for it. And so it was just such an amazing little treat. And So I wrote a lot of songs that year on that piano, and so a lot of them are on this record. You know, I wasn't actually planning on recording them. I had no plans, and then I met this wonderful producer who became a friend named Mark Atkinson. And we decided to work together and make a record. And so I took all these songs that I had written that year. And I think that I want to make people laugh, and I want to make people cry when I write music. When I was really, really little, I used to lay on the carpet in front of my mom and dad's speakers of their record player, and they had a lot of good records. I would lay there and just put a record on and just let the music wash over me. And I remember I did that a lot, and I remember how sometimes I would just be listening, and I would be listening to the way the melodies wove between each other, and then all of a sudden there'd be like one line that would almost like leap out of the record and just like, you know, reach out and shake me. And so that was just a defining process for me in my childhood, and I think that I just thought, you know, I'd like to do that too. I came from a somewhat musical family, and I always loved to write. I was always scribbling things on the backs of, you know, receipts and napkins and things like that. And so music for me became a part of that writing expression, and I was musical, and so songs was sort of just, you know, how it emerged. You know, I go through stages where I'm like, I just want to create in solitude, alone, and then I go through other stages where I'm like, I want to get these out into the world. I want to do, you know, more house shows and more theaters and things like that. So yeah, I guess I really wanted to make sure that these songs were gonna see the light of day and not just stay on a record in my basement, which has happened before. And it's easy to do. I am used to just writing and, you know, arranging my own songs. And usually when I make a record, I bring the songs arranged and we record them that way. But Mark was like really hardcore with editing them down and, you know, making them as economical and as concise as possible. And at first it was a bit like, oh my God, you want to cut that line? Like, I really love that line, you know? But then he would cut it and he would send it back to me, and I wouldn't even notice that it was gone. So I learned a lot about editing songs and really just kind of letting go of being attached to certain lines, because it really does make the song better to just cut all unnecessary things out and just, I guess, really stick to the kernel of what that song is.